Yes, sir. Let's wake up. Let's get cold.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
It's cold, Basil. It's cold. Antarctica, go first.
Snowstorm. Antarctica. Ice scientists are penguins.
They're opening the abyss.
So last episode, we had the Snopes article. Is this Antarctica as photographed from space? And we found out that we found out that Snopes is almost flat Earth.
Yeah.
Or at least
secret flat Earther.
Ice wall believers. But I noticed that the story was everywhere. The whole Antarctica picture.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so interesting to see all these people pick it up, including AP. So AP did their version of the whole, I guess, fact check or something.
Interesting.
And it says this. The headline is NASA visualization of Antarctica from space is computer generated. Yeah, we knew that. Image shows Antarctica from space. That's the claim. AP assessment, missing context. Not mischaracterized, missing context. The image is not photograph, but a visualization of Antarctica created in 2007 using data from NASA's Terra and Aqua satellites that orbit the Earth. The visualization portrays sea ice conditions on September 21st, 2005. The facts. Twitter users in recent days have shared the computer generated. We know all the stuff. It's all the same arguments.
Yeah.
Global warming, But there's one detail that I thought was very interesting. While the visualization does portray the continent based on real data, it is not a photograph. Yeah. Yep. I know. It's infuriating. It was created by combining data from satellites to reflect the continent's sea ice conditions on September 1st, according to NASA climate scientist, NASA engineer Cindy Starr created the visualization, which was released by NASA's Scientific Visualization Studio in 2007. What are the chances of name Cindy Starr with 2 R's creating a fake picture from space?
You know, it is just so fascinating, the shift that we've seen in the corporate news media as a whole. And I like to think, you know, we complain a lot that people copy our segments. You know, people, the mainstream seems to get a lot of ideas from what we've been doing for a decade now. You know, we complain about these things and it's fun. We have fun with it. But there's a part of me that's really thinking, like, obviously there's lots of other people doing the work we do differently than we do it. But, you know, generally the work that we do, calling out the media for their nonsense. And this Antarctica one really makes me feel good that we gotta be at least playing a role in the effect that is happening in the world.
We caught onto it early enough to where we are actually making an impact on the algorithms for
or at least just playing a part in the cultural shift that is demanding that the media report things like this, because even 1 year ago, this would not be Antarctica, you know, picture shared around is a composite.
It would be flat earther shares false picture.
It would be social media post says Earth is flat because picture is composite. Blah blah blah. You know, that would be the way that this would have been reported all over the place. Last year, maybe even 8 months ago, not even a full year. And suddenly, I mean, this is at least factual. You know, they're at least doing it the other direction. Oh, somebody says this was a picture from space. Well, it's not actually a picture from space. It's a composite put together by NASA artists to, you know, basically propagandize you.
From data collected.
Yeah. So they're like, it's just so strange, man. They are, again, I don't know if it's good or not, but it is definitely different.
If you would have shared this article in 2016, 2017, 2018, people would think it's fake. Like, why would AP be debunking a NASA photo? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. It would be like it's almost like an onion thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally one sentence away. You just have to add one sentence at the end of like, and NASA scientists are offended that the ice wall is being portrayed in such a crazy way or something.
Now,
just put a little flat Earth punchline at the end, and it's absolutely an Onion flat Earth article.
Given the trajectory of where things have gone, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of like, well, we've obviously seen a lot of UFO alien narratives become more prevalent or official because government is saying it's official. But I'm wondering if there's also a parallel, because what is the pattern? The pattern is conspiracy theorists were right?
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about the
that's
shape
the
of the
end
Earth.
of the pattern. There's a lot of stuff before that.
Well,
that's where it ends
but I'm
up.
saying like over time, the crazy wild ideas have been proven correct. So maybe because the fact that they're getting people, the general public that would read AP, to question what they're seeing about the Earth, from space or whatever. Although they say like, oh, we have pictures from space from 2018, MODIS, the moderate resolution imaging spectroradiometer. And, you look at it from the picture from 2018, it's like, okay, big swirls, kind of a close up of the continent of Antarctica.
Sure. Can't
see any kind of curvature, can't see anything. It's just great. There's Antarctica from space, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just culturally, it is very interesting that the news media would appeal to something that only flat earthers were saying in the last 5 years or something.
Well, yeah. And it could be, I hear you. We're saying the same thing. I think maybe it's like, if you want to be sort of skeptical about it or, critical about it, they're kind of getting ahead of, and this has been their problem, is refusing to acknowledge the truth of something,
right?
Because the conspiracy theorists are the ones with the facts, right? So the fact is that is not a picture of Antarctica, and similarly to a lot of things we've reported on, the vaccine-derived polio, the adverse events, these are all things that the conspiracy facts that the conspiracy theorists will share, which means that the mainstream media ignores the facts, and that has been what has caused the whole world basically to realize that they're not worth it. So now they have to admit the facts and say, okay, flat earth, you're right. This is not a picture. In fact, there are no pictures. It's all composite. We put them together. An artist does it, but there you go. So, okay, we don't need to get into the whole thing, but
it's almost like to regain credibility, they have to unwind some of the web of lies that they've created in the last few years. And so maybe this is one of those things is, hey, we'll throw you a bone the other way and it'll unravel some of that, some of the issues that they've come into because their loyalty to party and stuff like that has caused them to spin more lies than they've had to.
It's been counterproductive. Right. They know it. So, I mean, it's obvious. Nobody trusts them anymore. You don't even have to look at ratings or whatever. Right. But certainly the ratings show it too. Nobody trusts them. Isn't it interesting
that they're doing it in the context of a photo of Antarctica by NASA?
That's definitely a big part of it.
It's really weird.
And it's so fun. Whatever role that we've gotten to play in convincing the mainstream corporate legacy news machine that it has to tell the truth, even if it proves the conspiracy theorists right, I can take a little bit of, acknowledge a little bit of accomplishment. Our whole job is not for nothing, Gons.
What did you do, Grandpa Basil, in your lifetime?
I played my part. I played my part, Bleep Blorp. Now go hop
Bleep
on.
Blorp.
That's my son's name. Bleep Blorp.
Oh, son? It was grandpa, but okay.
This is my son and my grandpa. It's my cyborg baby.
It's a transgenerational baby.
Now go get on your emu and ride into the sunset. We've got to scrounge up some scraps from the apocalyptic wasteland.
Speaking of which, there's another Antarctica thing here real quick from Azo Clean Tech. azocleantech.com. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
But the headline here is how climate change might impact disease outbreak in Antarctic fish.
Not the Antarctic fish, Gons. No.
Scientists investigate a peculiar kind of fish that has evolved to survive in the severe Arctic climate. However, on a field trip in 2018, how come we're hearing about all this stuff now? They discovered an unusual phenomenon. Several of the fish had terrible skin tumors. Together with virologists and pathologists, they came to the conclusion that the tumors were caused by an epidemic of parasitic diseases of a magnitude never before seen close to Antarctica. The epidemic in this especially sensitive habitat may have been influenced by warming seas and melting ice, according to research funded by the U.S. National Science Foundation and published in iScience.
That sounds legit.
Try to give a lot of money to organizations that sound legit to make this theory legit. Yeah. The majority of fish found in the icy seas close to Antarctica belong to a class of fish known as nautothenioid or ice fish. Nautothenioid have developed particular proteins that keep their blood from freezing as one of their many adaptations to their icy environment.
Remember these guys? There was somebody found like a bajillion ice fish nests sort of taking over the place. Yeah.
The scientists traveled to a tiny fjord on the West Antarctic Peninsula during the 2018 field season, which is typically covered in ice at that time of year. When they saw it was clear, they entered and started fishing. Okay. Both healthy and diseased fish samples were gathered. You don't want to hear about the fish tumors?
I don't want to hear about them fishing, man.
Let's see. Yeah, that's
the researchers examined the tumors in the lab.
Yeah.
Diagnosed was X-cell. X-cell. The letter X-cell. X-cell disease. It's like they're X-Men. They're X-fish.
It's like the fish, the mark of the beast for the fish.
Ooh, parasitic condition that is not well understood. Although
you know what's interesting too? Considering the mark of the beast, the people that took the mark of the beast broke out in sores.
Fish of the beast.
Fish of the beast.
Although it has sometimes been seen in Iceland and Norway wild fisheries, experts are unsure of how it spread.
I know how it spread. X-cell vaccines. That's how it spreads. These fish need to stop taking
vaccine derived.
Those X-cell, the oral X-cell vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Bad for you.
Yeah, they got to stop feeding these fish the X-cell vaccine. They have some block quotes here and these big sort of grandiose quote boxes throughout. Yeah. And one of them says, this is from Thomas de Vignes. He's the study lead author. He says, when life conditions become challenging, animals become more prone to disease. Okay.
Hey, you want to give me tenure for that?
Yeah,
I'll take some salary.
Genius, man. When life
University
is hard.
of Oregon. Oregon's beautiful.
I could have told you that, man.
Institute of Neuroscience, huh? Mm-hmm. Why is a neuroscientist talking about icy fish tumors?
That's a good question. I have no idea. So yeah, the waters are warming, which is stressing these fish out, giving them tumors. X-cell. Okay, what are we to glean from this, Gons? Mark of the beast fish.
Yeah, the mark of the beast fish. But also just more on the climate. Obviously we've been pointing out how none of this stuff is caused by climate change. They have to say that they think, or that, what was the word they used here?
It's all may.
It may have been impacted.
May, we don't know.
Let's see,
we don't know what it could have been. We don't even understand what the disease is.
May have been influenced by warming seas and melting ice.
Right.
And it's almost like they're setting this whole thing up, because as I was reading this, it reminded me of, the conquest of America, the birth of America. and how we kind of just wiped out the native Indians. And
Talking about like the blankets, smallpox blankets.
Smallpox blankets, yeah.
Okay.
And is that what they're doing? You know, the lizard people are like, we need to get
Climate
some of these fish.
change. Well, climate change is warming the fish, much like how the smallpox blankets warmed the American Indians.
Mm-hmm.
This is dark. I don't like this.
You just noticed that I go to the dark, deep corners of the pool.
Yeah.
Get a little flashlight and then scream and then clean it up.
You see a bunch of tumor fish, tumor XL fish, and run away.
Mm-hmm.
All right.